guys, welcome to Christina Cakes It. I'm Christina and today I'm showing you how to make a surprise inside Christmas tree cake. Alright, so Christmas is coming up and it's literally the best time of year for many reasons, including all of the cute cake designs that are out there. And I definitely enjoy making cakes that are a bit of a challenge and that are like really interesting and creative. I've seen these cakes that have what looks like, or what's called the surprise inside. And I did like a simple version with my St. Patrick's Day shamrock cake, but I wanted to do it on like a tiered cake. And I think the queen of the surprise inside cakes is the blogger I Am Baker. She makes like these incredible designs that I like cannot figure out. But this Christmas tree inside cake is actually easier than you guys would think, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to make it. So before I get started, you are going to need quite a few cake layers. So I have 4 vanilla cake layers here, and these are 6-inch layers. And I just use the classic vanilla recipe for this. But then the Christmas tree is going to be obviously made out of green cake, and I'm using 3 layers for this. And I actually did put some sprinkles in here because my thought was like I wanted it to look like Christmas lights, so we'll see how that looks. I have some extra sprinkles in case I need them as well. And the first thing you're going to do with your 3 colored layers that are going to turn into your Christmas tree is we're basically going to make a cake pop mixture. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to take my 3 layers and tear them up. So after I have my cake like pretty like crumbly, I'm gonna add just a little bit of frosting, just like cake pops. And I'm gonna mix this in. So I'm gonna test this. That's pretty good consistency there. So maybe I added like 2 tablespoons. I'm curious to see if I add sprinkles to this, what it'll look like. We'll do a little test. So then I'm gonna do that because I want it to kind of look like Christmas lights. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how to make the surprise inside Christmas tree. And this part is a little bit challenging, but it's definitely doable. And so what we're gonna be doing is basically cutting out circles from each layer that are like getting smaller, but it's not like circles, it's like, they're almost like shaped like a trapezoid. And so what we're gonna do is I'm using circle cutters, and I planned this ahead of time. So I'm gonna show you guys how I cut this out, but basically I planned out like each layer, how big it's gonna be. So basically we're gonna start off with the bottom layer, which is going to be like the Christmas tree stump of the cake. So this one, we're just taking a small circle and we're gonna put it in the middle. And I'm actually going to cut all the way through. Oh, the other super important thing about this is these layers are still like a little bit cold, like they're like semi-frozen. It's much easier to work with cold cake, like carved cold cake, than cake that's like room temperature. Okay. So that's gonna be the stump of our cake. So the next one I'm gonna work on is actually the Christmas tree point, like the smallest layer, because I feel like if I mess this one up, I can always make it bigger. Let's see. I'm actually going to turn this over because this is the top, so I want the top flat. So I'm going to put a toothpick where my center is. Oh no, wait, that's not right. This way. Oh wait, okay. It does need to go this way because we're cutting down, so the point is gonna go this way. So I'm putting the toothpick in the center of my cake, and I'm putting this around it, and I'm gonna make like a little line for myself. Like I'm not cutting all the way through, but I can see a line here. And I'm basically going to make a cone. So I'm cutting in towards the toothpick at an angle. So I'm following the line from the cutter. So I'm satisfied with my cone here, and I'm gonna start working on the next layers. So this is gonna be my middle layer. And for this one, so the middle circle, we actually do cut all the way through. And then for this, I'm gonna use a bigger circle, obviously, and I'm not going to cut all the way through, but I'm using that as a guide, just like my last one. And I wanna cut at an angle here and make like another trapezoid. And then now my last layer. So this one's gonna go all the way through. And we're gonna take our biggest circle, again, not all the way through, but just making a guide, and cut in at an angle. So now that all of our cake layers are carved, we're going to take our green cake pop mixture, and we're actually just gonna shove it into like these open spaces. And I try to put these like in order, so I knew like this is my bottom layer, then this one's gonna go on that one, and then this one, and then this one. So make sure that you know which order your cake layers go in. Alright, so these layers are ready to be stacked and frosted. Okay, to start stacking, I'm gonna be super careful to make sure I go in the right order. So here's my bottom stump layer. And I'm just using a white buttercream in between here. Gonna go ahead and continue to crumb coat my cake. I definitely want this to go in the fridge to like settle and definitely harden a little bit before I finish decorating it. All right, so my cake is frosted, and the last thing I want to do is I do want to do a little bit of decorating on this, but it's gonna be really easy. And this design is actually inspired by Sugar and Sparrow with a really cute like Christmas lights design, and I'm gonna do my own little twist on it. So I'm just going to start by lightly tracing the word joy into the icing, because to me that's like Christmas joy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And what I'm gonna do now is take some black buttercream, and I'm gonna trace over this. And I'm using a really small tip. So this is what is this? This is just an Ateco 800. A Wilton tip 2 would work as well. Then I'm gonna go ahead and decorate it with these like little, they're supposed to look like Christmas lights, but these are actually like pastel sixlets, but I wanted my cake to have like kind of like a feminine Christmas light look. So that's why I went ahead and got these. And now I'm just going to continue to like draw the Christmas lights throughout the cake or the wire. And I'm going to make it kind of like with some loops. Alright, my surprise inside Christmas tree cake is complete, and I hope that you guys enjoyed learning how to do this, and I hope that you try it as well. And if you did like this episode, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel.